Hey folks, I thought I'd just do a short video to just show a Chinese violin that actually the first instrument I ever made was a Chinese violin called a Erhu. The Er is the Chinese word for two string, and Hu is the Chinese word for fiddle. So this is kind of the ancient Chinese two-string violin, which actually I have an actual concert version of the instrument, which you're probably more familiar with. It's an ebony instrument with a snakeskin head. In some ways, this is where the link in connection with the banjo sort of comes in. So yeah, this one has a lot more sound to it because of the way that it's designed, but which I'm sure you're familiar with the Chinese violin, one of the prettiest instruments, I think, in the Chinese sort of classical instrument cachet. But yeah, I'll stick a link on the video to a sample of some traditional classical Chinese Erhu songs, which gives you a feel for the beauty of this particular instrument. Anyway, what I wanted to do was make this is actually called a Banhu, because it's not got a snakeskin head. It's got a solid wooden head. I think, not sure what I put on there. It looks like it might be a piece of cedar. But again, it's a gourd Erhu. With the interesting thing about these instruments is the bow is actually threaded between the two strings on the instrument. So to get the string closest to you to resound, you kind of pull and put pressure on that string. To get the other one, you push. And I think it's in fifths. It's just two strings tuned in fifths. And I just made this out of an oak, piece of oak that I had, and had to use a friend of mine's lathe to turn these tuning pegs rather, and then I put a kind of a Purple Heart decorative top on it. So anyway, that's the very first instrument that I made. I kind of forgot about it when I started making banjos. I realized that, hey, I've actually done stuff with gourds before, and yeah, this was the first gourd instrument that I made, a Chinese Banhu. So I hope that's of interest to you, and I hope you might check out some Chinese classical music and have a taste of the versatility of this instrument. It's, you know, the other interesting thing about it is there's no, I guess like a violin, there's no frets, but the strings just sit out in midair, and you just touch the strings. You're not actually pushing the strings down to the fretboard, and you're actually touching both strings at the same time, but the only one that's going to sound is the one that your bow is resting against. So anyway, ancient Chinese instrument, which is still played today. There's a contemporary guy in Taiwan named Kenny Wen, W-E-N. If you're interested, he plays more contemporary. I think he's got an Erhu that he plugs in and puts some effects on it, but it's just a different modern twist on a classical instrument from China. So anyway, thanks for looking.